Hey guys, if you want your destiny to be fulfilled accordingly, if you want your destiny to be fulfilled accordingly, according to its own purpose, without any hindrances or without any disturbance, to be fulfilled according to its potential, and you also want to avoid spiritual baggages or spiritual problems, make sure that you avoid second-hand properties by all means necessary. Avoid inheriting, avoid buying, avoid taking ownership of second-hand properties. Why is that? A lot of second-hand properties, they come with spiritual baggages. A lot of second-hand properties, they come with spiritual entitlement that you as a second owner, you may not be able to live up to, you may not be able to withstand, you may not be able to contain. And here is the thing, many people have inherited things like poverty from the properties that they got from another person. If they can inherit, they've inherited poverty, they've inherited failures, they've inherited a lot of stagnations, different things that can come through ownership of second-hand properties. So whenever you want something or you want to own a property, regardless of your pocket, you can make sure that you save up for it. If you don't save up for it, you need it urgently. Make sure that you can rather go lay by. If you don't lay by, if you qualify for a credit that you know you can be able to pay up, if that is very important, if you know that you can be able to pay up that, make sure that then you can use these three options, but do not resort to buying a second-hand property. It is very, very dangerous in the spiritual realm. It is a very dangerous thing, and it is also dangerous. Why? Because there is this type of ritual that many people can do through their properties. There are certain problems that when you want to get rid of in your life, you need to get rid them through a certain thing that you own. Now, what they do is that they can also dispose a property that if another person take ownership of it, then you have offloaded the baggage, you have offloaded the load from the first owner of that thing. So it's like when another person inherit that property or take that property, spiritually everything is shifted from that person who used to own that thing, and it has gone to the new owner. So many people who do rituals for their deliverance, so to speak, they also use this ritual whereby if another person comes to own what they owned, then they also get help or they also get delivered from whatever that was troubling them. So many people also, some people also dispose second-hand properties as a way of ritual, because it's an instruction, it is a ritual. So make sure that you do not own a second-hand property. And if you have bought it rather and you didn't know and you own it, you want to own it, you can pray for it. You can pray for it. But here is the thing, you may need to constantly fight spiritual war. You may constantly need to fight spiritual war. Why? Because immediately when you buy it, the very same spiritual things that are entitled on that, they've got a legal right that they got through the first buyer. So it's like you are taking ownership. You want to take ownership of things that belong to certain spirits, and those spirits that are entitled to that property. So here's the thing, you will want to, it's like to them, it's like you are stealing or taking what is theirs. So you will need to constantly fight or engage in spiritual warfare, which is a battle that I don't think you may be prepared for. You see, when you avoid second-hand properties, you are saving yourself from a lot of things. Now, somebody can ask, what about the properties that we have inherited through our parents, including those ones? It is not every property that comes from your parent that you must inherit. Some of them, you need to sell them off. You don't need to inherit them, because some of them are good that you can inherit. Some of them are not good that you can inherit, because the moment you inherit them, you also inherit all the problems that your parents had. You also need to live up to the standards that your parents lived up to maintain those things, those properties that they owned. So if you want to save yourself from a lot of spiritual baggages, avoid second-hand properties. And there are certain things that are too obvious, like a bed, a sleeping bed. You must not ever buy a second-hand bed. Don't do that. This is a common thing that I can advise you on. A second-hand bed. Do not buy a second-hand bed. Believe you me, it's better you go and buy a cheap bed until God has blessed you to a level where you can afford the bed that you want. Do not buy a second-hand bed. Number two, a second-hand car. If you have bought it, believe you me, you have also inherited those problems. And it's better you get a new one Save up for it. If you can't save up for it, go and take it through installments and pay it up. Because if you don't pay it up, it can also create a problem for you. Those debts can also create a problem for you. That is why you will need to pay them off. So be very careful of second-hand properties. Be very careful, because those second-hand properties, they can also become a generational curse to you and from you to your children. So be very careful when coming to owning these things. May God bless you. Shalom.